of opening my eyes was definitely upon me. So it was in regards to the two supernovas that took place on September 23rd, 24th, and the revelation of what that absolutely means in conjunction with all of the objects that are now floating in our skies. I was in the middle of prayer, and I had asked the creator of the universe about the two supernovas. And my question was simply, what does this all mean? Why would there be two supernovas? And almost instantly, the answer was given. And that answer was, I have to break Satan's power over the earth, over the whole earth. And so, although they have been in a process of the breaking, I guess the final snap had to come in the form of those supernovas. And what that means is that in the Bible, Satan was speaking to Jesus. If those of you are Bible thumpers and scholars or knowledgeable about the Bible, was speaking to Jesus, who was, I guess, out in the wilderness at his lowest point, being out there alone, and he offered Jesus to rule with him if only he would bow down to him. And the key thing that he said was, all these worlds our quote unquote Father has given to me. And so when you really dive into that, what that means was that one, Satan had lost the war that he had with Yahweh, and lost badly. He lost so badly that he was hurled down to this planet, to Earth. This is what the Holy Scriptures tells us. And he in the army that he had with him. And then two, he didn't take the power. The power was given to him to rule. And so if you can give something, you can take it away if you have that power of your own, which the creator of the universe, the Most High God, does. And so clearly, one of the things that we have to consider is what would that look like? How would we know? What would be the demarcation line even for the great Satan? Because it's going to be words, right? But then there's going to be action. There's going to be something that takes place to denote at this moment in time, you now have the power to rule. And so one can surmise the breadth and width of his rule, and the demarcation line, the start of that, the inauguration of that, would possibly be something that would happen in the heavens, happen in outer space. And so in this case, what was brought to my attention was that something was clearly a supernova. Well, that's interesting. There's a water spout that is watering the street. It's the grass. Anyway, so last night when that revelation came, my eyes just opened. I mean, my eyes just went flying open. What was I going to say? So there would have to be some type of demonstration that the power of our planet and indeed our solar system no longer lies in the hands of the wicked one. And those two supernovas denoted that power, the breaking of that power, the finishing of it. They officially, utterly do not control this planet, nor its people anymore. They do not have a hold upon us. And also, too, what's even more important to understand is that that means the setting up of the dominion of Satan's kingdom, the Luciferian rule, can be taken down by those that the creator of the universe, who would use humans and any technology or so on and so forth, human and angelic technology, to do so, to do the removal of snatching the right to rule from Satan's representatives. In this instance, it will be white men and white women, along with the black nobility. So it is marvelous to in our eyes, but it denotes how powerful that the power that lies in that had lied in the hands, or laid in the hands, of the wicked one, the breadth and width of that power by those two supernovas going off. And then now you can also juxtapose the objects that are in the in the heavens right now, or in outer space right now, that some have entered our solar system, and then we have one that's going to, well, I guess they all have entered our system, but one is going to be very, very close in the next coming days, next week actually. And so if you were going to do a takedown, and that has been spoken of as Armageddon. If you were going to give a takedown, you would have to somehow weaken your opponent. And so, for white folks who have been the priests and the handmaidens of the great Satan and demonic dominion, no matter what it means, that no matter what they do, no matter what levers of power they are pulling, it will be to no avail. What that means is that it will not work. And we can see the outlay of that, the truth of that, is because of the overkill of what they did with this young person named Charlie Kirk. This was overkill. It was like the whole, from start to finish, for a person who wasn't a politician, wasn't a state leader, had no tangible accomplishments that would warrant such a send-off to his grave. It's overkill. And why is that? See, if you're secure in your power, then you won't need to do all of those things, right? And they didn't, such a type of theatrics were for people of renown who deserve to have that type of honors bestowed upon them. But if you lost your power and you want to continue deceiving the people, and in this case, it really is going to be white people, if you want to keep on deceiving them, then your theatrics are going to be even more overblown. for the simplest of things. And why are those who comprise of the black nobility and who comprise of the ruling elite, why are they doing this? Like, what would be the cause for them to go overboard? And I'll tell you why. Because they know, in conjunction with the demonic powers that are invisible to your average everyday human, they know the monster that they have created in the everyday white man, white woman. And they know that to tell them the truth, what those people would do to them. So you see, the bunkers and all the high-tech stuff that they have, the underground bunkers, the airplanes and everything else, that these people who have profited the most off of the devilry of Satan's world, they're not trying to hide from black folks. And I also would speculate they're not even trying to hide from the angels. They're trying to hide from their fellow men. They're trying to hide from other white people, regular white people. And they know exactly when this finally, when the truth finally comes out, which means that there's something more going on with those quote unquote comets out there. Because you have the supernovas 1 and 2 that they had never seen before. And then you had the sun doing all kinds of things that it has not done in their recorded lexicon. The dynamicism of the sun itself, they're taking note. And they're also taking note of the direction of what's going on with the sun. And it seems to be interacting with this 3-eye atlas. So, and another thing, the blind spot of the power of white men and white women, the blind spot of the sun, we now know that there is a weakness that they have in all of their armaments. They can't see what's going on behind the sun. They can't see a lot of things. That's a weakness. That's a blind spot. And I'm mentioning this because they've been telling us how powerful they are, how great they are, how omnipotent they are, how no one can take them down, how they can blacken our skies with all their weaponry, secret this and secret that, the mystery and the lore of omnipotent power. And they couldn't even see some of the objects that were actually coming through until those objects were upon them. You don't tell me that there ain't a God. You don't tell me that. Not when they've been telling us for the last half century how much of a God, last half millennial and half century, how much of a God they are. They couldn't even see those things, and they can't stop them. How about that? You want to know why? Because the contract of power has now ended. And a physical manifestation took place in the heavens in the line of not 1 but 2 supernovas. It reoriented the balance of power throughout this whole universe. So no matter what Satan does, no matter what, if you want to call them aliens, UFOs, whatever, that are trapped here in this solar system, no matter what they do, no matter what levers that they try to pull, it will be to no avail, because their contract for ruling is up. It's over. It's done. But not only that, here's another thing that just was brought to my mind. Not only that, but it also means that the orientation of power has been given back to the Creator's people. That's what that also means too. Those two supernovas means that he or she has taken the power from the hand of Satan and given it to those who are chosen and who belong to the Creator of the universe and who are going to be a part of this coming age. Well, the age is already here, but going to be a manifestational part of the kingdom that's going to give back to humanity what they lost at the beginning of Satan's rule, which is perfect harmony between this planet, between the universe, and between ourselves and the Creator of the universe. And so we have a lot to celebrate. We have a lot to be thankful for. The orientation of this solar system has changed. It no longer lies in the hand, or the power of it no longer lies in the hand of Satan. Doesn't lie in the power of the wicked one and the servant of the wicked one. Their servants don't even have the power. So no matter what they do, this is why they're throwing all of this. This is why they're going overboard, making a spectacle of things. Because like in Rome, that's what they would do with the gladiatorial games, is that they made the spectacle for the people, just throwing bread at them and watching them produce death, so that they didn't see that the kingdom was done. The kingdom of Rome was over. Trust me, the politician and the rich elites of that day knew it was done far before the rest of the people knew. But they did this so that they can quite possibly make way to get out of the city, or to get out of the Roman province, so as not to be killed by the soldiers and by the regular folk. And we all know how that went down. They didn't escape. They too got the work, and especially them, because they are the ones that were working hand in hand with the dominant power that had authority to rule over the earth. As that power told Jesus, he was given that power. And now that's been taken away. And so I believe that next week in October is going to be quite interesting in more ways than one. And, you can go ahead and listen to, because I do, listen to whatever white people are telling you about the movements of these objects. Just know, if you're a wise person, that they're not telling you everything, but also know that they don't know every damn thing. They really don't. They don't know. Those objects can do whatever they want, whatever the Creator of the universe has them to do. They can try to predict it, but it doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. Anything can take place, and so we just have to praise Yahweh that he is, or she is, showing strength, and that we may have seen a sign, a visible manifestation sign, that not even white folks have power to continue with white supremacy, to force it into the universe. They have no more power to do that. And these spectacles are so that the regular folk can be deluded into thinking that it is, while the upper class, the elite of their the elite of the elite, can try to make way for their escape. Try to make way for their escape, and because they don't want the people that they have lied to for the last 500 years to actually go after them. To actually go after them and tear them apart, unfortunately. And so, again, this is all speculation. But as a people who have been oppressed, and a people who have never really been a part of the society, and for people who are now literally being thrown out of the society, just know that when you were looking at the funeral of Charlie Kirk, you were looking at the overdoing of it with the stadium and the theatrics. That's the Roman leaders um, at the Colosseum. That's what that was. It was a spectacle so that they don't see what's about to hit them. The regular folk, they're literally deluding their minds. But also want to say, and I've heard this from a couple other commentators, I believe that white folks as a whole, I believe that the creator of the universe has put a little voice behind in their back of their heads that's whispering to them that it's over. No matter what you do, no matter what levers of power you pull, they will not effectuate the way that you want them to, the way that they did in the past. As a matter of fact, they'll bleed into nothingness, into open air. You cannot stop justice and the strength of justice gathering moment by moment. And this is a good thing. Our freedom indeed, our freedom indeed draws nigh. And it could be literally weeks away. Weeks